And welcome everyone to League of Barons Season 3, Week 4. I'm your host, Stephen Ford, joined as always by Charlie, I've got my drink Hicks,
Hey, what's going on, guys?
and Joel, I can multitask too, Killingsworth.
Hello, what? Hello.
Alright, gentlemen, we've got a interesting matchup tonight between a Baron, Dr. Ryan Payne, and a Atlanta Hawk, Jim Miranda. A couple of kind of slimmed down lists here facing off here in week 4. Charlie, you want to take a look at maybe Ryan's list?
All right, so Ryan has looks like a pair of E-wings over here. These are the Rogue Squadron escorts, each with an R3 astromech. He's got Jake Farrell, just him by himself, and then Wedge Antilles with servos.
So very upgrade light list, but a couple R3 astromechs on those E3 on the E3s. Wow, on the E wings. Get a couple locks early before they get restricted. Uh, Joel, you want to look at Jim's list, or you want me to run it down?
Yeah, so Jim has Lando and Dash, and we've seen quite a few Lando plus Outrider lists that have, done reasonably well during the recent Gold Squadron events. Um, this is a more slimmed down version to accommodate a full Dash alongside Lando, but we do still have the uh, Bistan and Perceptive Co-Pilot combo that allows you to grab 2 focus tokens with your action and then get to fire twice at 2 different targets with Beaston. And since you're firing with a 4 dice primary, assuming the targets are at greater than range 1, that's a lot of firepower that you're getting to double there. Lando is coming in with just Neon Numb, which is kind of essential to open up his dial, give him more blues, allow him to make use of his ability, regardless of how fast he needs to go.
That's interesting. Kind of got a almost a push the limit Falcon over here with Lando running Neon Numb, looking for the blues to get that extra action. And obviously, he can also, if Lando's not relevant to the combat that round, he can also, double down on Dash's mods, and maybe Dash picks up a double focus, and then Lando hands him a target lock, or even rotates his arc for him just to make the shots happen. Is going to be interesting to see. Ryan's got the R3 Astromechs on the E-wings over here. He's looking for those long-range locks, double up, which 2 ships. So that's a perfect number. Except Dash does have the Outrider title, so we may see some opportunities for Jim here to dump locks early off of Dash, running over some obstacles, and maybe kind of removing some of that action efficiency out of the E-wings.
Yeah, that's definitely going to hinder what he'd want to do early on. Of course, it does kind of make you wonder if Dr. Payne is going to try to put the pain on Lando first to go ahead and just make him a non-factor.
Right, yeah, Lando can't get rid of those locks, and he does have Wedge out here, and we've got a large base ship with 1 agility and a large base ship with 2 agility, so Wedge is gonna cut down on those green dice quite a bit, and maybe throw some damage out here. Ryan's list is very light on upgrades, but it's very action efficient. You've got the E-wings with the R3s picking up early locks, and then Jake on a booster barrel roll, choosing a friendly ship that could include him at range 0 to 1, and handing out a focus action. So you could double mod Wedge, or Jake could be finding inventive ways to double mod himself, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking at his spacing compared to Wedge. So, I mean, obviously he's primed right there to go ahead and lend Wedge that focus token so he can dive in for a lock if he needs to. So, obviously he's setting himself up to do exactly that sort of thing.
Yeah, if Wedge here can fighting a Lando, you're kind of making Lando into a decimator here, taking away his only green die. But of course, X-Wings do take damage when you throw dice at them, so he's going to have to be careful. Lando does have the luxury of double modding basically every shot he ever wants to take, just with that dial.
And even more dangerous than that, he can make sure that Dash is double modding his gun.
Absolutely. It's funny. I fought Biston in the Corellia Galactic qualifier. Is that what he's calling it? The Galaxies?
Galactic qualifier, yeah.
And I did not realize. I totally thought I was conflating it with another upgrade, and really thought that he had to shoot from the other arc that he's fired from. So he had to shoot from the other side. And she's like, no, it just has to shoot a different defender. It's like, oh, this is a lot of dice.
Yeah, he's definitely loaded for bear against all these swarms and efficiency lists and everything like that, where he can just go ahead and really put the wood to somebody with those 4 dice.
It looks like our timer started, Joel.
Yep.
Just want to make sure you can see it, and we are on the move here. And Dr. Payne's E-Wings are coming out of the gate hot.
Yeah, he's got to close a lot of distance, because if Dash is going to jump in over here, then he's got a pretty narrow window which he needs to just go ahead and start jumping and dumping over here.
Yeah, exactly. Really what Ryan wants to have his opponent shoot at is the E-Wings, right? They're the beefiest part of his list. But he's sort of set up Wedge opposite both of the ships. Dash can easily jump in really fast to try to join the fight against Wedge. So I'm curious to see whether he is committing to coming in with Wedge, or if he's going to try to nope out here.
Turning Jake in like that makes me think that Wedge is committed, at least initially.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a good point that Jim's got the chance here based on the setup, and I didn't see who won. I guess it doesn't matter on initiative. Actually, we don't really have. Do we have
Jim placed the last obstacle.
Ooh.
Well, it doesn't actually matter. It's 4s and 6s versus 5. So
that is not Dash.
That is not Dash.
Looks like we just have an unforced error.
Do we have incorrect dials set? Maybe a 3 bank makes sense for Dash there.
Yeah, I think
they're discussing it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, those maneuvers in reverse make perfect sense.
Yeah, I think he just has the dials reversed. There we go. So 3 bank for Dash, and we'll have a 1 straight for Lando after this, based on the way they had it set. So yeah, Jim getting an opportunity here to put both of his big guns up against potentially just Wedge and Jake without E-Wing support. It's a bit of a risk here. Lando living up to his true rebel reputation with the 1 straight out the gate. Joel, you want to throw that dial up for Lando and maybe show what the difference Neon Numb makes?
Sure. So Lando natively just gets the 2 banks as blue. Neon Numb adds the 1 and the 3 banks as options for blue, which, it being blue, is important to trigger Lando's ability, which gives either himself or a friendly at range 0 to 3, I believe. Let me pull up.
It is 0 to 3.
Oh, that's the wrong.
It is 0 to 3.
0 to 3. Okay, so it basically gives him the ability to share an action, either double action himself or share an action with a friendly ship.
What did we miss over here? Lando's got a stress.
He did a boost.
He boosted.
Ah,
and that is a red action on the Falcon.
And that's not really a problem, because he was going to do a blue next turn anyway.
Yeah. That's kind of why I made the crack about him being a PTL. He's going to get double actions every turn because he wants to do a blue every turn. Just the stress is kind of optional.
Yeah.
So looking at Jim's arcs right now, arc management with these big bases running bow ties is pretty important. You don't want to wait. You don't want to lose actions to moving your arcs. You really want to move your arc through your movement decisions and then get mods with your actions. Jim right now has got bow tie on Lando front to back and Dash as well. might be interesting to see. You can already see Wedge here lined up out of quote unquote arc. He's not in range. But it might be interesting to see what kind of move Jim wants to do with Lando next turn to maybe get that arc on, or if he wants to commit an action to rotating.
Because if he continues on his arc up toward the center of the board, then he's just going to end up getting pinched between Lando and the E-wings, which is not where he wants to be. I would imagine a nice sharp turn here toward. But see, the hard turns are not blue, so.
Yeah, it costs you your double action. So I wonder if the arc setup is maybe a mistake here, because I think he actually rotated it that turn, like the turn 1.
If he continues on the way he's going, he will have back arc back toward the direction that Wedge is coming from. But then he's going to have to deal with the E-wings at least a turn or two earlier than he would have to otherwise.
Yeah, E-wings have got pretty good dials, and I do believe they've got a boost in there. They do have boost in there.
Yep.
So they can cover some ground pretty quick. They've already got target locks up, so they're not super worried about having to get a mod on combat necessarily.
Yeah. The only thing that would give a pause on that, I mean, it's one of those ships where it doesn't link with the focus on its repositions. So, like he's definitely going to want to try to put a premium on getting those double mods on his shots.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to make those 3 dice guns, of which Dr. Payne here has brought all but one ship running 3 dice guns tonight.
Just loading the gun right here.
Yeah, we are seeing Jake turn in here to support Wedge. I imagine we're gonna see a little Jake shenanigan here.
So I think that barrel roll means we may see a link boost out of this focus. Because if you did the boost, yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Gonna do a link boost.
Ooh. Obviously, S-foil's closed right now. The only way you can do that, in an X-wing at least. So Wedge right now doing his best PTL impression. Probably got a blue move dialed in to clear that stress. And we are seeing both E-wings starting to turn into the center. So yeah, if Lando takes that trajectory away from Wedge, he kind of would be pinning himself between 2 fires and maybe losing some of the advantage from the initial setup. Okay, so Dash turning in here towards the E-wings. So maybe he's decided he wants to go kill the E-wings first.
Ooh, fits.
Ooh, that is
aggressive.
That's a swank little maneuver there. Neon is here too, so that's going to clear stress.
Takes a focus for one action.
Looks like he's looking for a target lock.
Goes for the lock.
So right now he's got 1 E-wing in range, and we haven't seen Wedge's move yet. You got to imagine Wedge will get range on Lando, but there is a cloud kind of partially in the way there.
Yeah, if he manages to catch cloud cover, then that'll be pretty important.
Not convinced that Dash has a shot here. So we do have the S-foils opening up on Wedge. And there's your 2 banks. That is almost, unless you barrel roll, you're basically guaranteeing cloud cover at that point.
So that's probably range 3. So Lando would be rolling 2 green dice versus Wedge's shot.
Right. Yeah, if he doesn't move to clear that, it would also help out too, just because you get the auto convert off the gas cloud.
Yep.
But I don't think Dash is gonna have a shot this turn. I don't think he can reach that lead E-wing.
It's going to be very close.
Yeah.
Not sure. Are they still debating an action here for Wedge? Looks like.
Looks like it.
It's always interesting just to try to, because like we have some information on what's going on because their hands are moving, but we don't know what they're discussing or thinking about. So Wedge is going to barrel roll to get rid of that gas cloud, so that's going to put Lando back down to just the one die.
Yeah, I think that's the better decision. One, it's going to give you basically the same kind of offensive results, but it's also going to put you in a better position for the next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the next turn maneuver is the real important one here. So he does have both options, either Dash or Lando. I mean, you got to go into Lando here, right? You got two shots on Lando potentially
Yeah,
from Ewing and Wedge.
yeah, I think you stack Lando.
It is interesting too to see just how bunched up Jim is right now, as opposed to how just loose Ryan's formation is. Because both of Jim's ships are pretty self-sufficient. They don't really need to be near one another for any real help.
Yeah. Now, I mean, obviously, the open dial for Lando and then also Dash's shenanigans do kind of free him up a little bit from that, but still could be problematic.
Ooh, hit, crit, focus, and Ryan is absolutely spending that focus. So we got 2 hits and a crit coming from Wedge. And 1 natty evade for Lando. So that's going to be 2 shields down on Lando. And if Wedge can survive I shouldn't say survive, but evade the range 3 shot in return, that'd be a pretty good bargain for Ryan at the start.
Absolutely.
Does like we're engaging with Dash first. He does have the E-wing at range 3, so he will get to double. Biston's not going to be relevant here because he's only got 1 target in arc. But he will be able to shoot both ships into the same target. Now Ewing's sitting on 3 agility out at range 3, so he's going to get 4 green dice here with a focus. You got to feel pretty good about that, even though you do have 4 red dice coming in at you out of the 2400. Oof.
Ooh, that's brutal.
That is not what you want to see. It's 3 blanks and a focus, and Jim is going to spend the 1 focus from Dash just to go ahead and make that 1 hit. I feel really bad. And just the 2 evades in return, so number red is safe from the fire. And so far, Ryan's got to be feeling pretty good about how this turn is going.
Yeah, that's definitely piling up in his favor. We'll see if Lando can take this token off of here or spike some damage in.
Yeah, you can't do anything about the target locks that are on him. We're rolling 4 dice here. I'm not sure what prompted that.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go. There's the 3 dice roll. Okay.
That's even better.
Hit, crit,
Oh,
focus. Yeah, get
man.
that free reroll by doing something wrong.
Oh, these are hot.
So you got to spend the focus here if you're Lando, right?
Yeah.
No, leaving it hit crit, keeping the focus for defense.
I don't like that choice.
Yeah, I think if you show a hit crit like that, you got to go ahead and spend up, right?
Like your
Oh,
best defense is to make him cough up the rock. I mean, he's
yeah,
coughing it up anyways, but
but you don't get any
no,
damage for it, right? You could have gotten at
no.
least a shield there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's hoping to use that focus on defense here.
Yeah, but it's only got 1 shot coming in, probably.
Yeah, it's only one shot. Yellow is well and truly out.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
So Charlie would have chosen violence. Yellow doesn't get to choose violence because no shot. And range 3 for the Ewing got both choices. You got to assume it's going to be a Lando shot here.
Yeah, you definitely want to capitalize on the good work he did with Wedge. I mean, Wedge just rolls in. It's free real estate. Goes ahead and gets the shields off of him.
Ooh.
Ooh,
So that focus spin does hurt Ryan a little bit. Hit 2 focus on the roll. Does have a target lock though.
yeah.
And we're spending it.
Ooh.
Oh, just call it a focus, right? What is it, Joel? Focus and target lock have the same expected value?
That's
So
true.
So 3 hits into the single evade. So once again, the focus spend not coming through for Lando there, and that is 2 more shields down. We've got 1 shield left on the Falcon. I mean, we just traded 4 shields for nothing, right? And
Yeah.
now Jim's got both ships in the center of. You can't call it all 4 of Ryan's ships because Jake's kind of lagging behind here, but at least the 3 most meaningful ships.
And the problematic thing here is that the good escape vectors for Lando are covered up. Like these guys are just going to shoot this gap. It's going to make it impossible for him to occupy this with a 3 bank, which is what he'd really like to do. Uh, he also can't reliably get over this cloud here without having some problems. And he could negotiate a 1 bank, certainly, maybe a 2 bank, but that's not necessarily going to give him a lot of uh, target opportunities. So Lando's in a funny spot right here.
I mean, I don't hate the what one bank to the right and then boost straight option.
Yeah, you can't forget that he's got a boost because he's gonna, if you want banks, he's gonna get a focus or something out of that, and then kind of straight boost and kind of slide up past that cloud.
Yeah, true.
Maybe a 2 bank, but 1 bank probably do it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think if I was Ryan flying the Ewings, I might 1 bank both of them into the center because that kind
Hmm.
of opens the arc up about as wide as you can make it.
Hmm. I mean, and then Wedge is just cruising up here. I mean, is there a reason that you don't 3 bank?
Uh,
Because you don't want to run
no.
into that cloud.
Yeah. At 3
Uh,
straight, how about? Let's do a 3 straight.
I don't think the 3 bank is going to clip that cloud,
Yeah,
but
maybe
you know what?
it may not. It may not, but I
I
think it'd be close. I would just do the 2 or 3 straight here, and you'll see how everything is before you move. If you absolutely have to have the boost, you can close the wings.
Yeah, I think you bring Jake up behind Wedge and put a focus on Wedge, and that leaves his action available for a reposition, and he'll still have an offensive mod or defense if he really needs to.
yeah.
But the potential there to like 3 straight, and if we're talking about Lando doing some kind of bank here, you might be able to. I think X-wings do have a 4 straight as well, don't
They
they?
do. So you could
They
even
do.
take the 4 straight and be ready to barrel roll around that cloud if you need to adjust your arc.
Yeah, have the focus, and potentially if something lands in your arc because you are moving the last I6, just take the target lock and double mod against it. So where do we think Dash is going to go?
Anywhere he wants. He's going to do 1 straight.
I mean, that's
I mean, 1 straight doesn't feel awesome because then you're just going to take a whole bunch of fire, assuming that you do slip the net with Lando. A 3 hard to the left feels pretty good for where all of the enemy arcs are going to end up. Um, but beyond that, I mean that then splits up your 2 guys, right? So I don't know if that's
Yeah.
the direction you want to go.
I mean, we might actually see Lando do like the 1 or 2 bank and boost, and then maybe Dash try to do like a 3 hard behind it. Just kind of peel out with both those arcs facing back. But we do have Jake coming in here on a 3 hard. I imagine we'll see a barrel or a boost here to find that range 1. think you're struggling a little bit with the dials. It's leaving some of the actions up on the dials.
Yeah.
Just spread the dials further apart, Ryan. Come on.
Just shake it like a Polaroid picture. It's fine.
There
You'll
we
clear
go.
it. Yeah.
Mic off.
All right, so that definitely nets the range 1 requirement for Jake.
Yep.
Jake's going to link his own focus. And is that it? We're not going to give it to Wedge.
I'm surprised at this.
Okay, so he focused and then boosted. That makes okay. So now he's going to reach out for the focus for Wedge.
That's right. God, I forget there's like a million different ways that Jake
Yeah,
can work.
he couldn't do it for himself because he'd already be stressed at that point, but he can give it.
Mic
Obviously, he
on.
already took a focus action himself, but he give it over to Wedge. So we are seeing the E-Wing, or at least one E-Wing, do a 1 bank here, which I think is the right call.
Yeah.
Get that arc nice and wide. Still
Yeah, I mean the only pain that you're dealing with Dash in this is if the lead E-Wing is in that sensor blind spot, you just roll 1 less die, which I mean it's not optimal, but it's also not the end of the world.
No, it's not. So both E-Wings doing the 1 banks and picking up focuses. So keeping the arcs nice and wide. Red did spend his target lock on Lando, so we just got the 1 lock. Yeah, here we go.
Oh.
Dash doing the train out.
Well, now I'm really interested to see what happens.
Yeah, Dash can't boost here. He could barrel roll if he wanted to, but we're opting for the double focus.
I mean, obviously, like you can.
Oof, 3 bank bump. So I think, yeah, so Lando has to fully execute to trigger his ability.
He does.
He's from an era of 2.0 design when the word fully mattered.
Those are simple days.
Better times before the Nantex attacked.
Yep.
But on the bump, no action for Lando. Just gonna have to sit there. Oh, wow. We got really unaggressive with Wedge here.
Yeah, that's unusual.
I think he was kind of anticipating Dash trying to slip the net down past
trying
that
to
gas
3
cloud.
hard,
Yeah.
3 hard left maybe or something. So you might have to commit your action here to a barrel roll, honestly. The gas cloud's not in the most greatest of places for next turn. So right now it looks like Lando probably facing 2 shots. I don't think Jake could reach Lando from here. And even if he could, it is going to be range 3 obstructed versus a 2 die attack.
Right.
So Wedge barrel rolling. So that does at least kind of limit Wedge's offensive output here with just the single mod.
I mean, you say that, but he did get 3 hits off of it last round.
I mean, dice are dice. You roll them because you got to see what they say. Yeah, so we do have the range 3. So Lando would only get 1 die here because of Wedge's ability. It does look like that's what they're setting up for. Makes sense going into the damage target. Yeah, Ryan's even got to ping it just so we know for sure. Ooh, hit crit. Can't do anything about a blank though with just a focus.
Oh,
Speaking of blank, so yeah, so that's a shield down, and that'll be a crit. Jim doing the smart play, making sure his deck is shuffled. Oh no, hold breach. Now, Lando has a bit of an advantage here in that he just needs to do a blue, and he can turn that off and still have a mod next turn.
True.
And the way the E-Wings are set up right now, he should get a mod this turn. He should be able to get past him. But oof, that's a vicious card to draw right now with another shot coming in.
Yeah, it is.
So Dash has got two options. Both are 4 dice attacks here, either at the E-wing or at wedge. I think you shoot a wedge here, right?
I mean, ¿por qué no los dos?
Oh, that's right. It's Biston. I think you shoot at
Yeah,
both of them.
I think you do. I think that is the choice decision here. You shoot it both.
Both is good.
Yeah, we've done both of the both memes apparently.
I'm sure there's more.
I'm sure there are too. If you know of any both memes, put them in the chat.
I would like to hear more. All right, so looks like we're shooting into the E-wing first. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
2 focus and a blank, so I assume we're going to see, yep, there's the spin. So 2 hits going out the E-wing. Okay,
but if it
okay.
goes through anyways, okay.
Yeah, no reason to hold on to the focus for the E-wing if you're already bumped, not getting a shot. Well, actually, he does have a shot here into dash. So, but opting just to take the 1 shield instead of the 2. He's still got a target lock on dash. I guess that's no real harm.
Yeah.
And now I imagine we're gonna see the Biston shot into wedge. So 4v3, Wedge is still sitting on his focus.
All right, what's the over/under on an X-wing dying here, Steven?
I mean, at the moment he's full health. It's not good. It's pretty poor. I think the word you're looking for is odds, though. Over under doesn't work that way. 3 hits. Now the real question is, does Wedge lose his shields? I'm thinking yes. Oh, he can spend and keep. A rare moment for an X-wing facing 3 hits, that it doesn't just lose shields.
Well, he still loses 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I used plural there.
I told you about the one time I flew an X-wing in 2nd edition, right?
No.
Yeah, it was Luke, and so I had full force rolling in against 2 unmodified 3 die shots, and Luke died in 2 shots.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's like, okay, I got the X-wing out of my system. I will never do that again.
So Lando's got a range 1 shot out the front. I think you might look at the back here because Wedge is down a force or focus. Yeah, I tried the Luke Wedge AP5 torpedo list last night into Andrew's Warthog and Torrance list.
I bet you love that.
Well, let's see. Luke rolled 2 evades and a focus in 13 green dice, so he died. And then after he died, Andrew made use of the fact that ships stay on the table with initiative to continue to shoot cluster missiles at Luke so that he could get the bonus shot into Wedge. It's a real fast game.
Oh, man.
All right, so looks like Jim's still weighing his option here. Does he want the range 1? We're pinging at the range 1 shot into the E-wing. I think you need to go to Wedge here.
I don't hate it because you're trying to burn off that other focus, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
defensive play. Yeah,
Mhm.
and it is 4 dice.
And you don't have mods either way on this shot.
Yeah.
Blocked.
Ooh, 1 hit. Speaking of no mods, oof.
I mean, I realize that Lando usually has a lot of economy going on, but man, these dice are really being cruel.
They've been ugly. Perfectly average green dice there. Gets the evade. So that's a defensive shot failed there. The focus is still up on yellow, who also has a target lock on Lando. And this is a... Oh.
Ooh.
Is that
so
obstructed?
Jake, it is obstructed. Yeah, Jake making a liar out of me there when I said I didn't think he'd have the shot. Oh my goodness. And now Hull Breach is on Lando. Those are all crits. It doesn't matter what the result is. It's a crit. Oh, he's fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
So 1 evade on the roll. Gas Cloud comes through in the clutch, and that will stave off Jake's shot, but we got
We
a
weren't
double
counting
mod
on
range
Jake to have a
one.
shot.
No,
So
and we've got a double mod range one E-wing shot coming up here into a hole breached Falcon. Like that does not sound good.
yeah, this is gonna hurt.
No, we're gonna hold off on the excitement, and instead we're gonna look at red first. So we do have the shot. I think it's range 2 here to dash.
Yeah.
And red does still have a target lock on dash. Outrider title not coming through yet. Hit focus blank, so let's see that target lock. There it is.
Yeah. If not, he's just gonna shuck it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. He doesn't have any obstacles that are coming up.
I mean, there's one right next to him. Okay, so 2 hits, so the reroll helped a little. Dash
Does
does
his
have a
ability
focus. Okay, so it will be 1 hit, just the 1 evade. What was that, Charlie?
does his ability trigger off barrel rolls?
Dash's ability says while you move, you ignore obstacles, and
Well, the Outrider title,
Outrider
isn't it?
says after you fully execute a maneuver. So no, it does not matter. You
Okay.
would have to do the maneuver.
Yeah.
I don't. Does Dash have a 1 hard? Can he 1 hard onto a cloud? Can't remember.
Dash does have a
Let's
one.
ask.
Dash has every basic maneuver except for the 5 straight.
Okay, so Payne off to a bad start with his initial roll here. Crit focus blank blank. He does have a target lock, and we're going to see that spent. So reroll on the blanks. Oh.
Yep.
So focus spend means we've got 3 crits coming in here because of hull breach. Okay,
Like that
natty
too.
evade, make it 2.
Don't hate that, depending on the crits.
I mean, you don't get much choice here. Oof,
Blinded,
pilot.
gross. Don't like that.
So that's 2 crit cards that are really begging to be turned off.
Yeah. And loose stabilizer.
Okay, that's not the worst, because you got to imagine Lando was probably doing a straight this turn anyways.
Yeah. I mean, without that, he could have thought about doing a bank, but yeah, straight doesn't hurt.
Or maybe you were trying to be squirrely and do like a hard to the left, and that that's just a damage, and you got hull breach that's a crit, so that's really not a good idea. That's hopefully something Jim keeps track of while he's contemplating his maneuvers this turn.
Yeah.
All right, Joel, how do you get out of this one?
So Lando does a 3 straight, I guess, flips hull breach and loose stabilizer. No other actions.
Yeah, no reason to flip blinded pilot if you're not gonna have a mod.
Yeah, and then Dash does a 1 bank to the left and focuses.
Yep, just to keep threatening any E-wing that comes past or wedge coming up from behind.
It is worth pointing out, Outrider title does have its first clause says that while you perform an attack that is obstructed by an obstacle, the defender rolls 1 fewer defense die. So if he gets the shots through the clouds, you can't turn off the cloud auto thrusters effect. I shouldn't use that term anymore. 1.0 is a long ways away now. You can't use the cloud convert ability to get a blank into an evade. It'll still be in effect for the defender, but you will reduce that die bonus at least.
And this shows you how many times I've even looked at a 2400. I think I've played against one once throughout the entire second edition. So
yeah, I actually didn't realize it had both clauses on there. As far as I was concerned, it was just that you moved through and you got to take away a red or orange token. But
yeah.
that makes sense why it's like 14 points.
Yeah. So one of the interesting bits here is that Jake is finally in kind of an awkward spot where he's probably not passing off any of his shenanigans. So at least
You could 1 hard Jake and then boost him towards wedge if you really value the focus that much.
Is there is 1 hard on those blue?
Oh, he's stressed. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
no, you couldn't do it. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You're good. I didn't even see the stress under the model.
Yeah, cleverly hidden.
Sneaky. Yeah, got a little comments here coming in that Wedge is coming in for the Payne, and Wedge has got such a beautiful straight line to chase Lando here.
That's definitely where you don't want to be in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Lando with all these crits up, especially hull breach, and Wedge is chasing you, that feels real bad.
Yeah. I mean, the only potential saving grace here, because you got to imagine that these E-Wings are probably just going to K-turn. The only saving grace is that Dash can probably bark some shots into those guys with some pretty good effect, hopefully.
You think the E-Wings are K-turning this turn?
I mean, I think so. I think that red probably is for sure. I don't know that yellow's K-turn clears.
Yeah, see, that's what made me hesitate. Red can K-turn all day. I don't know that yellow can get over Lando.
And
So
they do have
here's the
three
possibility.
sloops. They do have three sloops, but I don't think either of yellow's
That
sloops are
doesn't
clear
that
either.
doesn't clear either, yeah, because both those big bases are still gonna be sitting there.
Yeah, they do have one hard though, so he could one hard and barrel roll to try to jam up a potential two straight.
Mm.
Is that one hard white?
So I've changed my mind on what Lando does. Right, Lando still
Okay.
Mm.
dials the three straight because you want to get your two actions, and the first thing you have to clear is loose stabilizer. But then your second action could be a left bank boost and get on around that cloud.
Try to
Yeah.
get a little obstruction bonus here.
Yeah.
But I think you definitely want to kill hull breach because that is
Oh yeah.
I mean you
death
do,
on
but
a
I
ship
think
with
I
eight
think you
hull.
manage to get out of all arcs this turn if you do a three straight boost.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I guess you'll get to see it at that point. He does move after almost everything not named Wedge. All right, so I'm not gonna say Lando. Jake on a four straight, kind of trying to close off one of those avenues if Lando tries to get cute here. Interesting going for the barrel roll. So barrel roll into the focus. Do we see a boost here or do we just sit with it? Yeah, you put the stress back, so here's the boost. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Jake kind of cutting the corner here, maybe closing off a couple of Lando's cute maneuvers to get out of this. Oh,
Hmm.
that is not an expected maneuver at all.
Yeah, I guess the prospect of getting dunked on by Dash is probably not the one he wants to face.
I guess. I mean, these ships are pretty healthy. I mean, you can boost, do the three hard boost here,
Oh, and
and
then he
I mean,
gets
he's
both of his locks back.
yeah, okay, that's fair. He's getting
Mhm.
his mods back.
Yeah,
Can
he's
can he reach dash from here? I assume
He's
so. They
he's
didn't
an
measure it
E-wing.
though. Oh, I'm sorry. Doesn't matter what the range is unless it's as long as it's not one.
yep.
So yeah, so gets both the locks back and definitely takes him out of combat. So a good reset maneuver here. Not what I expected because hull breach is up. Press the advantage, right?
Mhm.
Here is your one hard. It is red. That's what I
Yep.
thought. So I
Okay.
mean, you're not gonna get slapped as hard by Dash if you're range one of him, right? Because Dash loses that die.
Mhm.
But you are gonna be sitting there with no defensive mods.
Ah. Oh, I like that.
Okay, Dash on the two straight.
It's going to be problematic later, but I like it right now.
Well, it means he doesn't have to spend an action to rotate his arc this turn.
True.
Oh,
Oh, clips the cloud. Still gets
Uh,
his Lando action as he completed his maneuver,
yep.
yes.
but doesn't
So
You
get
could
his
still
regular action.
boost around this thing and pick up the obstruction from Jake. I think that's
flip.
the more
It
important
it
maneuver at this
looks
point.
it looks real bad for next turn though, because you've got Jake and the
And an
E-wing.
E-wing,
And the other E-wing isn't too far behind.
and you haven't turned off hull breach.
Yeah.
Lando's in some trouble.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I guess right now you turn off hull breach since you're not gonna significantly impact your situation by boosting around.
And you
But
also get to help Dash pound into yellow with a range 1 shot out the back.
Yeah, he's got a good shot on yellow.
mhm.
He's only taking the 1-2 die shot, but if he stays where he is, he's almost certainly going to get shot by
Well, now
Wedge.
he's only taking the
Um,
yeah, but you got
so we've
Wedge
got a
coming still.
we've got a question in the chat asking about if Jake has a lock on Lando. He does not.
Yeah, the locks on Lando are both from the E-wings.
Yep.
So there's the boost around. Opting for the self-preservation approach for this turn at
I
least.
mean, all right, so blank, no strain coming in. That would have really hurt because he did touch the cloud. Yeah, you call it self-preservation, but next turn you almost have to
Take a crit.
turn, right? And you're gonna blue stabilizer or crit onto yourself.
Yeah. I don't like that. Very conservative.
Yeah, just a 2 straight out of Wedge, not jumping into combat here, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is this the big brain play here? You turn Biston off? You only give him 1 shot?
The only way to win is to not play.
Yes, thank you, Whopper. So no target lock for Wedge.
No, sir. This is second edition. You must get a target lock
You know
on
what I mean.
garbage.
No useful target lock for Wedge. Fine, Mr. Pedantic. Jeez.
I mean, you're the one that corrected yourself out of auto thrusters, so here we are.
Well, Andrew made the point the other day that it's been, what, over 2 years since second edition has been out, and that there's probably a lot of players now who wouldn't understand the reference to auto thrusters even, because it's still in the game. It just means something totally different.
That's true.
So we are going to see the Lando shot here, range 2 now, so move from range 1 to range 2, and it is unmodified. And Jim's dice haven't done him any favors. Let's see if that, there we go.
Ooh,
There's 3
there's some
hits.
money.
Variance has got to show up going the other way at some point, right?
Yep.
Right? That's what I keep telling myself.
Oh, and there it is.
No, that feels so bad.
Oh, the first really solid roll for Jim, and it's met by 3 evades.
Now, is that obstructed?
It is
It
obstructed.
is.
Yeah, chat is telling us it's obstructed. I
Okay.
guess you just have chat turned off for the visuals, so you can't even
Right.
tell, huh?
Yep, that's what we're here for.
To inform the viewers and our fellow commentator of what's going on. It is outside range 1, though, so Dash does have 4 versus 3 here, and there's no defensive mods available to yellow. Man, that triple
Except for the cloud
natties.
conversion.
Okay, yes, yeah, except for the cloud conversion. The triple natties to stop the 3 hits, really feeling bad.
Oh, man.
Also feels bad.
He's rolled at least 2 blanks every time Dash is shot.
Yeah,
Yep.
Dash is a 2-dice gun right now, so just hit crit and then a couple of blanks, and Ewing is
And
totally
triple evade
safe.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cloud makes it triples. Whew.
I mean, this just goes to show, like, when you're riding a variance train, agility 3 is so strong if you can spam it.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing too with something like an E-wing is when the agility doesn't pay off for you, it doesn't just die. It's not like, oh, I took 2 hits and a crit and it's a direct and I'm dead, because it actually has the shields and hull.
Right, yeah. Now, the Rogue Squadron escorts being only, I think 51 points apiece, isn't the R3 3 points?
Yes.
Yeah, so these are 54 apiece, they're 51 base. They're right there at the edge of going from usable to really good, right?
Yeah, so Lando escapes the 1 hit from Jake there. Didn't even need the cloud. gonna see the return fire from number yellow into Dash. So Dash has been just the one shield so far, relatively unscathed. But he does still. Does he have a target? He does still have a target lock on him from yellow, so there is some mons at play here. Oof. Blank focus. I think we're gonna see a target lock spend. Yep, here it comes. What? Did he just change his? I think he's changing his mind. Yeah. Dr. Payne just throwing those dice away. Doesn't want to chase. Gonna keep the lock for next turn. Probably a good call, because yellow is set up pretty well to run down Dash, and Jake and the other Ewing are pretty well positioned to go help finish off Lando. And I say help finish off because I'm pretty sure Lando is not going to do a straight this turn, which means loose stabilizer is going to deal him a crit.
Oh yeah, man, that feels bad.
Pulling hull breach as the very first crit of the game on an 8-hull ship feels so bad.
I will say, as a professional decimator player, like it's a really good sign from above. Like when you do that right at the beginning, you're like, cool, I will have enough time after this round to get a beer, maybe 2.
Yeah.
It's fine.
The
There's
real
always an upside.
the real feels bad is when you pull the hull breach and then you pull a fuel leak and you're like, oh, I really need to turn this hull breach off.
Yeah. And that is definitely a hallmark of second edition, though. The terrifying combinations of crits when you start leaving the door open for them.
It's interesting, and I don't know if it's just a factor in my play that I just don't roll enough crits, but I haven't actually seen a really aggressive crit chain snowball a ship off the board, either mine or an opponent's, in some time, it feels like.
It sounds like you haven't been playing Dr. Payne, who's always a big fan of using Hera and Saul together.
Yeah, I called him out on that. I was like, where's the Harris tonight? He's like, I just can't do it. It's not working for me.
That's fair. I mean, it's like it's difficult in the current environment because if you position wrong once with Hera, or if basically all of your cheat mode options are taken away from you by a bunch of Nantex, then it feels pretty bad.
Yeah, 2-ship lists are getting pretty thin on the field, I think, with the heavy push into swarms. I think that's what we're seeing here from Dr. Payne. He's leaning on a 4-ship list, trying to maybe claw his way up a little bit in the ship count wars. So they are taking their time here with the dials. No, I say that they're all set now that I actually look at them. So not sure what we might be waiting on.
All right, so Lando's just right from the jump gonna draw a crit, and it's probably gonna be horrible. Watch it be another hull breach. God, that'd be hilarious.
Oh gosh, it takes multiple actions just to turn it all off.
Which I mean, he's Lando; he could do it, but
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario is you pull. Let's see, how much health does he have left? 5. Is you pull
Yes.
3 directs in a row?
oh,
Because it, or something like you pull a direct and then that pulls another one, which could be another direct, which could be another
Oh,
direct.
I didn't even think about the fact. Yeah, if you pull a direct and it chains off itself, and it's going to clear a card in front of it, so they don't even have to be stacked on top of each other.
Yep.
Per se.
Yeah.
No, it does,
And
because
then
he's only taking in 1 damage right now
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
from
All right.
the
I guess
low
I'm
stabilizer.
thinking in terms of somebody's shot coming in as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying now.
But he could
Yellow doing the obvious
theoretically
move here.
just destroy himself on a 1 bank with 5 full left.
Good.
Oh, 2.0. All right, so yellow just taking a 3 straight. Now that's maybe a little faster than I
It
think I would
is
have gone.
like, because like Dash could just be doing the 1 hard and then barrel roll back.
I don't think he's got enough room to do it, but he might.
Jake on the 5 straight. Dr. Payne over here saying, all right, Lando, you go kill yourself. He's banking on the direct hit crit chain and putting all the guns on Dash. I mean, I guess if you're in his shoes, you feel like the red Ewing can probably battle Lando on its own pretty well.
Yeah. I think so. That's a good valuation. I'm gonna be real mad if Wedge doesn't do the 3 bank here. Like he's been so conservative bringing Wedge up.
All right, so we do have the focus into a boost. Kind of a missed opportunity here because he didn't spend that target lock last round, and if you knew you were
He's too
bringing,
close. He's too close to get a new lock.
oh, you're right. Yeah, they are range 1. Never mind. Well, he shouldn't have gone so fast. Dang it.
Well, if he hadn't have
Oh
gone
man.
so fast, then Jake couldn't have boosted in.
Jake can boost other directions. Come on.
Hey, whoa. Where is this focus coming from?
What focus?
A focus appeared on escort 1.
He did his maneuver.
He did a
then took an
move
action.
and took an action.
Oh, he
Is that
did? Oh,
pretty standard X-wing thing?
man, I didn't even see that he'd moved. All right, there we go.
Charlie, man, we need to talk about the ABV of your beverages tonight.
0, it's water.
Oh,
Yeah.
So here
No,
we
the
see a 2 hard out of dash, which is kind of a perfect scenario for Ryan, because now there's definitely no way he's barrel rolling out of arc.
yeah.
yeah. I mean, 3 straight feels pretty good right now because you're in the sensor zone too, with a range 1 shot.
And he's gonna have to
Man,
pivot to get that shot.
people,
Oh,
pet peeve right here. People are abusing the term over under lately on the internet. I don't know what happened to cause that, but it's like all of a sudden all of America
Ooh.
forgot how over under works. Oh
what did he
my
get?
goodness.
He did a 1 straight with Lando.
Oh no, that's bad.
So,
Clears the
Well,
all right, let's
yeah,
look at this.
okay. He could do. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
does he make it out of that corner alive?
I don't
I
think he
don't think
does.
so. I
I
think
think
that.
Let's see
Well, hang on.
here.
I'm getting right on top of that.
If he was straight on, then maybe.
not with that
I think
angle though.
that
That
Oh
angle
corner.
no,
is.
he doesn't even have a 1 hard on the dial.
If he was straight on, like if he was straight on from the corner that's furthest from the board edge, too hard might keep him on.
Yeah.
But I
Oh, there's
don't.
not even a
I
1
don't.
hard on the
No,
dial.
there's not a 1 hard on the
No,
dial.
there's not a way out.
Get
Oof.
talking. Yep, feels bad. Just
So
take the crit,
turning
man.
off hull breach and loose stable. Yeah, at that point, just take the crit. Oh, that feels bad. All right, here you go, Charlie. 3 bank out of wedge.
Ah, finally.
I assume he can reach probably range 3 and clip dash. Dash didn't rotate his arc last turn.
No,
He's
he
sitting on
didn't.
2 focus with no shots.
No
Ooh.
shots. I think Jim's getting a little bit of tilt right now. He's just because that's definitely something that, and now part of it is also with these bases, it's really easy to just not see the arc indicator and to have something
Yeah.
like that lapse.
Yeah, the
But
model is big enough that it kind of overlaps it. So Wedge
yeah,
does have range to get his target lock off of garbage and onto dash. And here comes the shot. Range 3. Dash does have double focus here, so he does have some defensive mods. So that's not the worst trade-off, I guess. Wedge ability showing up. Wedge ability has gotten off. The X-wings lived only 1 shield down. It's gotten to shoot a lot of time.
Mhm.
Hit blank on the initial roll, and only the target lock for a mod. So he's gonna dig for that 3rd hit here.
And I think that was kind of a misevaluation of target priority on Jim's part, because that first couple of rounds he really had an opportunity to just charge down Wedge and get him off the board before the E-wings could join the fight.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. I would have just leaned into Wedge and like
I mean, if you run down on a Wedge throwing 7 red dice at an X-wing, like it dies.
yeah, especially when you can double modify one of those shots every single time.
Well, and the word you're looking for is double modified dash's shot since it's 4 dice.
I didn't say I was going to wait for the audience to figure that one out, but yes.
So Lando no shot, Red Ewing no shot. So Lando preserves himself for a turn, but I mean I don't think there's any way he gets out of that corner. And now we're looking at Jake into dash. Just a crit, and no way to fix that blank. And Dash finds the evade, so Dash is looking like Dash has got a long road ahead of him to put out some work here. So he needs to keep all his shields that he can.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of, now we've got a range 1 shot from a double mod E-wing. So, ooh, hit double focus. Got a focus token on the board, so we're gonna see a target lock on 1 blank here.
Mm-hmm.
And Dash might be seeing a lot of damage. Blank into blank, classic target lock maneuver. So just 3 hits on the focus spend. Oh, that's what Dash wanted to see. So just lose the 1 shield. So that's taking a pretty bad situation and really, mitigating it pretty well, just with a little variance.
Yeah, you don't hate that result.
But I mean, we are 3 shields down on Dash, and the real opponent for Jim now is the clock, right? There's only 20 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, that's a huge amount of points he's going to have to claw out of this, and he doesn't have a particularly good tactical position to do so. The problem he's going to run into is now he could. I'm just taking a look and seeing that E-wing is. It could do it too hard. It's going to run out of real estate pretty quick, but that also helps to kind of tighten up the choices that the Dash has. You can quickly fill that space with Jake coming in and kind of just leave Wedge with a wide open field. Of course, this other E-wing over here doesn't have to chase Lando anymore because he's a dead man walking, so he can just go ahead and kick that 3 hard in, go ahead and grab his lock, and then come in loaded for bear on the next turn. So, yeah, it's there's not a lot of breathing room at all.
Yeah, I mean, Lando's only 2 damage away from Dash is only 2 damage away from giving up half points, which at that point is probably insurmountable given the clock.
Right.
Yeah. Jim.
Yeah.
Being a little humor in the chat. Watch him fly Lando into the abyss. I think he also realizes the situation.
Yeah. Don't even leave it to the millimeters. Just go 4 straight, like a hero.
Oh yeah, 4K. Come on now.
Yep, that's true. Shake your tail feathers.
Does he even have a K turn? I don't even remember.
Sloop?
does have a K turn.
Yes.
Awesome.
It also has 3 sloops.
Yep, there we go.
The Rebel Falcon does?
Yeah.
Boy, I guess I never see those ships on the board. I expect it out of the Resistance.
That's just first edition conditioning.
Yeah, a little bit. It's funny how long it sticks with you because it's been a while. But it may just be a case here where Jim got bit a little bit on the large base with the boost in there and just didn't judge the distance.
To be fair, it's on the opposite side of the table, and we all know how that can be.
Hold on now. This is a 3D space. He could move the camera anywhere he wants to.
Yeah, but lazy. It's so far over there.
All right, so here is your 3 hard for the E-wing, and so the E-wing can go ahead and target lock and then link the boost. The rare moment when it actually works.
He's already got a lock.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, because he reset his locks.
Oh, yep, I see it over there
when
already.
He boosted around before.
All right, so just the boost. Now, yellow here on the 2 hard, like, trying to help Jim out here and keep Dash on the board or something over here.
He might barrel roll to try to jam him up and let Jake come in here and.
Oh, forget Jake. It's Wedge that's coming in here with the wrath and fury.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
All right, Charlie. Does the 3 bank out of Wedge? Does it clip the cloud?
Nah.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
I don't even think the 2 bank clips.
2 bank might be pushing a little bit. 2 bank might actually finish you with like the edge of your base on the gas cloud.
So if he did the 3 hard, I guess we're probably going to see a barrel roll out of Jake to block the 3 hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I assume so. Because yeah, if you leave Dash a 3 hard there,
Because that was the move he'd wanted to take anyways.
yeah, like we just focus on Jake. Nothing. Yep, and Lando is well and truly off the board. Yeah, the lack of 1
Well,
hard hurt there.
he died doing what he loved, gambling.
Ooh, 5 health left on Orlando off the board. That feels pretty bad.
Mic off.
Yeah, and here's the 3 hard for Dash that,
They
Ryan
could have
had
stopped it.
several chances to prevent. Now,
Oh man, I don't think that. I mean, Jake will have a shot, but yeah, the that other
Red's got a
Ewing
Mic
shot
doesn't
here.
have
on.
a shot. Oh yeah, but so does Dash. So
Well, Dash is gonna bist in here, right? You're gonna get shots into
Oh,
both.
yeah.
It's a shame. Dash is the rare or the YT 2400 is the rare ship where being close to it feels better than being far away. He will only get 3 dice on one of those shots.
ships would kill to get 3 dice, or at least get into range 1 to do it
Yeah,
by
but they
choice,
don't cost
not
like
by
100.
accident.
They don't cost like 120 points.
Right.
Yeah, truth.
Oh man.
Joel, I almost made a comment about how you haven't updated the scoreboard, but then I realized that Twitch is on a delay. So I'm not sure what the discussion here is. I assume we're just going to see Dash take a double focus here, right?
I mean, why wouldn't he? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. I will say though, I'm really proud of myself, and y'all should thank me. I've gone an entire game with Lando on the board without
Oh no.
Lando voice.
Jim trying a barrel roll. I don't know if that was a misclick where he was going the wrong way. Oof. I mean, he wouldn't have fit the other way either. Just looking at how much board edge he's got. That feels real bad.
Oh man, yeah, I don't understand.
Not even no bist in this turn.
Wait, do you have to be focusing to do it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, you have to be focused.
Yeah.
Oh no, this feels so bad.
And here comes the wedge 3 bank.
You know what? That 2 might have actually clipped. I'll take that back.
I told you it was gonna be close. I don't know for sure. He might have been just next to the cloud, but it would have been close.
But yeah,
and
no
you
way
want to
the
go
3 would.
fast anyways. You want to get closer.
Yeah.
So target lock for wedge, and Dash is only gonna have 1 green die to defend against this shot. So this is probably where Dash gives up the half points.
Yeah.
An errant 1 straight here. I'm not sure where that came from.
Trying to measure something?
Oh, he's setting the barrel up wrong.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They figured it out.
He's still setting it up wrong.
Debating about how it goes. I don't know what. Yeah, I think
you have
Jim
to
is.
start it in the middle.
Yeah, now see, it's worth pointing out here that Jim is an old school first edition player, right?
No.
Speaking of, yeah. Yeah, so he may have been betrayed by the barrel roll change that betrayed many of us early in second edition, let me tell you.
I'm just gonna be real with you. I still don't know how it works for medium or large base. I have it explained to me every time, and it just flies right out my brain.
Right, because like the only medium, and large base ship you play is a decimator, right? So, and
So
it don't do nothing like that.
Not yet, sir. Not yet.
My personal favorite was at the Minnock Open. Right as second edition started, and and I brought quad jumpers, right? And I
Mm.
tractor beamed and barrel rolled my opponent's Reapers. And I was like, well, I don't know how medium base barrel roll works. Do you? He's like, no, I don't. I was like, well, you brought medium base. He's like, they can't barrel roll. I didn't have to know this. So we had to get a judge over there to look up how medium base barrel rolls work.
That's perfect.
All right, so we do have
So
two options
I'd
here.
have to say that this is for because like he took the barrel roll action intending to slip past using first edition barrel roll rules, right? Like that's what it
Right.
looks like the situation is. So I think this would have been a prime situation to go back and say, you know what, you should just get your 2 focus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
And the focus would have been a big factor here, but
Yeah.
they're not there. Just the 2 hits. This is just the dash special right now. Is 2
Nah,
hits on 4 dice.
but enough.
Ooh,
And 2 hits are gonna go in.
that is points.
Woo!
Yeah, that's shields down. That is half points on red.
We did it, boys.
That flips the card, so the shield, nice. All right, well, I am happy to see that at least, because I do know Jim's struggled a little getting into the swing of second edition virtually.
Yeah, it is worth noting that this season of League of Barons has been his first foray into second edition.
Oh, at period.
Period.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think he's played second edition at all. Yeah,
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, welcome to the party, Jim.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jake producing 2 hits, and Dash 1 evade. So that will be another card into Dash. So that's 2 cards on Dash. So Dash is well into half point territory.
Yep. So with the time on this sitting at, let's look over here, 8 minutes. Yeah, we're playing for garbage time at this point. You get the maximum amount of honor, so kill this guy.
Well, this is the E-Wing now, taking a shot into Dash range 3. Focus, focus, blank is not going to get you very far. And yeah, Ryan's not even going to bother with the target lock. Yeah, you know, if Jim had preserved Lando in that play, obviously this board would be a bit different. But let's say you've only given up half on Lando at that point, and Dash maybe manages to slip this and doesn't have to give up half.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he would have a chance. I think he would have a chance to get points and squeak it out by a couple of points. But taking 5 HP on Lando off the board, just poof.
Yeah. But I mean, it's also like what we were saying at the beginning with them kind of occupying the same area. I mean, obviously they have ways to mitigate that, but it still reduces what they can do. Like they don't have to be in each other's hip pocket, so that did limit some of the things he can do. I mean, there's obviously the target priority situation that we can debate. I think we're all pretty much of the opinion that we'd rather go and eat wedge before dealing with these other guys. But I mean, I could also see going into one of these E-wings and trashing it because on the face of things, that's certainly a thing that can happen too.
Yeah, I do think that the right call there was definitely to double down on wedge with Ryan kind of handing it to you in the setup where he kept his guns spread out.
Mhm.
That's one of those where you gotta sprint down the board and pounce on it because you don't get those kinds of opportunities often.
Yeah, because I think if he put his foot to the floral mat and just jumped on wedge, there's enough real estate between Dash and the E-wings coming in. I don't know if they would even be able to contest that. Like that's like a free round for him at that point.
Yeah, I think the E-Wings would have, at best, the lead E-Wing turning in would have had like a range 3 obstructed shot at Dash or something, and that's totally worth killing Wedge for.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we are seeing the yellow E-Wing making a 3 hard here, so not going off the board. And taking a focus. Pretty simple stuff. At this point, Ryan has got the game well in hand, taking it nice and easy. A little one straight, a true rebel maneuver here.
Oh my god, I forgot they had one straights.
Picking up a focus. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, Jake, just not many options for Jake here. Takes the one hard and bumps. I think I might have just turned out, pretend I'm an RZ2 and take a mod or something there. But you just sometimes you got to go fast and you're just too close. Ooh, Dash setting up for the Biston run here. Let's see the double focus. Gets out of threat of yellow pretty well.
Yeah, he's
And
he's
there.
just not gonna have more than one thing in arc this round.
Unless
Oh yeah, as I'm spinning the arc here, the back arc doesn't quite reach to red, does it?
oh well that's nice though.
Yeah, wedge bumps, so that does preserve a shot. But I mean, Dash needs points right now. He doesn't need to preserve shots.
No.
Mic off.
I mean, he does have to live if he wants to deal damage, but minor
Yeah.
minor technical difficulties. So it looks like just one shot for one shot here. So we do have 4 dice going into yellow. And if we see maybe a little dice variance swinging Jim's way, we could still see some points here. There
All
it
right,
is.
there we go.
So hit, focus, easy focus spin, make it 4 hits into yellow. Now you just gotta hope for some blanks.
Mic on.
That is not blanks. That is evade, focus. So he will spend his focus and just take the 1 shield into yellow. Yellow definitely no shot. Does not have the team kill bot on board to shoot red. Don't laugh.
I hate that rule. It's a free country. Shoot your friends if you want to.
I
Hey,
mean, this game is
Squadrons
played
lets you
all
shoot your
over the
friends.
world. Boy,
Oh
does it
really?
ever.
Oh god. I
Speaking
haven't
of,
played yet.
you need to. You should come play with us.
Yeah.
I will.
So just a hit, a couple of blanks, got a target lock out there though. So still a chance for some Payne into Jim from Dr. Payne.
Yeah. I mean, he went to school for this.
Oh, and a crit for Spice. Spins the focus, hit, crit coming into Dash. But yeah, Charlie, you gotta get on there and play some squadrons with us.
I'm going to finish the single player campaign.
Oh, okay.
I can't finish the single player campaign.
I haven't gone past like the first mission.
It won't let me play mission number 9.
Oh,
Oh,
correct. So crit goes into Dash. It is console fire, not a crazy relevant card, but still not a great one to have on board.
I always like having a console fire when I'm losing. It's just sort of like, whatever.
Yeah, just whatever.
Maybe
Nobody
if this card kills me, then I die. But
what was it? I beat Zeke in person with an Obi-Wan with 1 health with console fire on board, where I was already down on points. So Obi had to successfully fail console fire for 3 turns to get his shots in to win the game.
God, it feels so good when you do that.
It was really dumb, if I'm being totally honest.
I mean, yeah.
So we've got enough time here, just 2 minutes, so this is most likely the last round. Just Jim's chance to get a few more points out of Ryan. Half of
So
them
what do we
viewing.
figure? Like a 2 or 3 bank through that cloud?
I want to see Dash go over an obstacle. I'm pretty sure Jim has flown so well that Dash has not actually done Dash things.
Yeah.
He's done a good job of the large bases not hitting. The only large base that hit an obstacle was Lando, who doesn't want to hit obstacles.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the time that you start using that to your advantage. I mean, there's no target locks on the board, so you don't worry about that, but you've got other tricks up your sleeve.
Oh yeah, I guess he has spent all the. Well, there might be more target locks depending on how these. I mean, the Ewings can't get a lock at each one. It's gonna be hard for them to actually get locks.
True.
Joel, do we have new products showing up Friday?
We should. The Resistance Aces pack is coming out along with the Tie Heavy, I believe.
Okay. I just saw a Discord notification, someone, Brent, asking a question about it, and realized, wow, we have such kind of a staggered release going on right now that I have not paid attention to what physical product is available and what physical product isn't available.
Thank God it's payday.
I have got
And
other uses for my payday right now.
maybe this is the universe telling me that I don't need a bottle of Pappy 23. So
Oh yeah, you lost out on the lottery.
yeah, I did. I was sad.
How much does it cost to buy a bottle?
That's like upwards of 200.
Cool. All right, so that
Yeah.
is time in the round. They will finish out this round. $200 for a bottle of bourbon.
Oh yeah.
Phew. But you have
I
to
mean,
win a lottery just for the right to purchase it. Oof.
Yep.
Living the high life.
Oh yeah. But probably not going to do that because I'll be buying another wave of X-Wing.
Well, you're not going to be doing that because you didn't get in the lottery.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling myself. I made the choice.
You
Not
haven't
that.
found anyone to adopt you to make use of their lottery.
That's true. I was sad.
So I imagine can't reach Wedge with the focus here. And both the E-Wings already took focuses, so it doesn't do them any good. Yeah, I imagine Dash just hops over this cloud, right? Maybe a hard turn over the cloud.
I mean, he still needs
Uh,
to be keeping his rear arc on things, so
Yeah, so
Yeah.
bank.
Yeah, I really think maybe that was maybe another mistake here for Jim to clean up going forward is he had both his arcs front to back, and I think both these ships probably benefit from side to side and doing more of an orbiting maneuvering.
Yeah. But yeah, it's tough once you're engaged to make the decision to change your arc.
Man, Wedge trying to 4K, just running into his teammates.
kill Wedge, kill Wedge.
Kill Wedge.
Seriously,
Kill
yes,
him.
this is your chance.
He's right there. He's just wanting to die.
Man, like Jake made this boost to try to give Wedge a focus, and then couldn't give the focus, and then blocks Wedge, and then Wedge like just dies from somehow some crazy crit chain. That'd be amazing.
Yep,
Oh, gotta roll
that's the ending
console
I want.
fire. I'd take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Safe.
No threat there.
It's not even obstructed. Kill Wedge.
Kill Wedge.
Kill Wedge.
You can shoot whoever else you want to afterwards.
Yep. Kill Wedge and then whoever else. I guess red.
Or get points out of yellow, maybe?
Points
I
out
don't
of
know.
yellow would be easier.
Yeah, kill Wedge.
But still, like you're
Here's
probably
magic.
still not doing 2 damage through the cloud like that.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
not.
he's gonna get 4 dice. You get rid of the obstruction at least. It's not 5 dice at least.
True.
But yeah, your first shot here is Wedge, right? Come on. We need to see the 2-hit 2 crit magic and the double blanks.
Yep.
And then like fuel leak direct and just kill him.
Ooh.
Only 3 dice on the board. I think this has got to be Wedge.
This is Wedge. Yes.
4 hits. It can't kill Wedge.
Can't kill him, but it feels good.
It can get half points out of him.
It can get half points out of him.
That is half
Half
points.
points. Yep. We did it, boys. We made it.
Failed in a card. 2 evades to 4 hits. All right, now hit yellow and get 2 damage into yellow and get half points there, which is just straight up not feasible.
Does
I don't
Jake
think.
not
but
have mods?
Jake
Jake
has
has
a
a
focus.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Jake's unobstructed too. That's just 4 greens with a focus. That's doable.
I mean, if you're fishing for 2 damage, Jake is a lot easier than one of the guys
True.
behind the cloud.
True.
You're not wrong.
Going into yellow.
Going for yellow looks like. We'll see. It will be 4v4 with the focus with the cloud mod. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. Not with only 3 hits too.
Yeah. I was excited there until I saw the blank.
Yeah.
Good blank. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. Oh, no.
Not
Never mind.
like that. He even rolled 1 too few. Forgot the range bonus, but either way.
Yeah.
3 focus becomes 3 evades on the spin. Now Dash has to weather 2 E-wings shooting at him.
And he spent both focus on attack, right?
Yes. With only 2 holes, so woof. It is range 3 obstructed, so this is 3 versus 4 greens.
With the cloud conversion, only a focus on offense. I think all of the locks have been spent.
All the locks have been spent, yeah. But that is about as good as you're gonna get here on 3 hits with the focus spend.
Safe.
How about 3 evades?
Woo.
So keeps Dash safe for 1 shot, and now we've got 1 more. Again, range 3 and obstructed is what chat's saying.
Yep.
So the final shot of the game. Last chance for Ryan to get just that extra couple of points out. And that is nothing. Blank focus. Dash lives to see another day. Alrighty, well that is the game. We'll have the 2 players up here in just a minute for a little post-game recap, so stick around. We'll be right back. Alrighty, and we are back. First things first, Dr. Payne, congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Jim, condolences.
Oh, I had a blast. It was fun.
That's always a good. That is the goal here in the League of Barons. You want to win. Winning is the most fun, but you want to have fun along the way as well.
Yeah, I've always had the philosophy that if I ever want to win more than I want me and my opponent to have a good time, I need to go find something else to do.
Pretty good way of putting it.
That's a good way to look at it. So Ryan, how we feeling out here running around without Hera?
It feels pretty good. Until, it's kind of reassuring when you have 14 health. When you have 6 behind 2 agility, it makes you a little nervous, especially when you K-turn into it. You block yourself. with no
Yeah,
token.
Oh,
there,
we
there
were
are
we
Yeah.
were we were chanting Wedge's name, but not, wishing him well.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
yeah, we
sure.
were
Yeah.
we were pulling
He
for the
is.
death of Wedge there.
And
Yeah.
I mean, you say this, and you line up in front of Dash with Brave Wedge over here, like, yep, that's the thing I'm gonna do. It was very feasible at that point that they could have just closed down on Wedge without any support. So that was a gutsy move right at turn 0.
Yeah, that's pretty typical. Usually I try to sort of bait with Wedge because I know that for him to come down into this alleyway the way that he's set up, like that gives the E-Wings basically free board range. Like I mean I can just haul with these guys and get basically you're either gonna get flanked by one or the other.
Hmm.
That's the whole idea is like one way I'm gonna try to flank you. Um but yeah, and then once he gets Lando into this cluster of rocks right here, he has a hard time getting through that area. Dash doesn't care, but Lando does. So um, that was sort of the idea. That's how I typically set up that because you can sort of reposition with Jake too. So like if I were to see that he were coming in really fast and really quickly, um, then I would have the ability with Jake to sort of redirect where I'm going
Hmm.
in a way, a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't have perfect knowledge because Jake would move first. With
Oh
some
yeah.
knowledge.
But yeah, you're kind of starting Wedge with the foils closed, gives Jake the ability to toss the focus over and then boost off of that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
Jim,
was
go ahead, Joel.
sorry. I have one more question for Ryan. So this kind of the four ship Rebels build has gone through a lot of iterations over the lifespan of second edition. And typically you see a couple of B wings where you've got the E wings in your list here.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the named B wings most of the time. You're going to still have I4. You're going to still have a lot of mods on your shots. Um, but here with the E-wings, you have much faster ships, and you've only given up 2 total health, but you're protecting it with 3 agility. How do you feel flying the E-wings as opposed to trying to throw a couple of named B-wings in there?
Yeah, and it's really about the dial, like the speed. It's so this list originally was Wedge, Jake, Luke, Thane, and now that's 201 points.
Hmm.
And so I now typically would have sort of the same strategy with them. And the E-Wings provide that ability to really, if I'm trying that sort of pincer maneuver, the E-Wings give me the flexibility to really go fast. Plus having the boost or barrel roll. Whereas the B wing, I think I would have to fly that a little bit differently. I'd have to keep them. I would feel like I needed to keep them a little bit closer so that I'm not ending up with so that everybody's kind of in the same. Their firing arcs are overlapping, and I'm making sure I'm covering enough space.
Right.
Whereas the E wings, I can quickly cover most of the board.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a fair look at it. The boost, and they've
Yeah.
got a pretty good fast dial.
Yeah, and the three greens are surprisingly resilient sometimes, and then sometimes I mean if you have the focus there, they feel pretty good. Versus with that one agility, it's like I just can't do anything about this. If I'm if they throw 3 dice at me and they get 3 hits, I can't do much about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that happen at least once where Jim's dice were not cooperating, and they finally
Yeah.
decided to produce 3 hits, and then you just kind of nattied out of it.
Mm.
Yes. That happened more often than it should have in that game.
So Jim, obviously, welcome back to second edition, or to X-wing in general.
Yeah, thanks.
Welcome to second edition, or welcome back to X-wing, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah,
Both
there
of
we
those
go.
things are true. Welcome back,
We'll get
and
it.
I am now playing second edition. Poorly, as you saw.
Well, we saw you reach for the one straight, and there was a little kerfuffling. It looked like over a barrel roll that they said it failed, and because it was interesting, because we talked about our first experiences with transitioning from the first edition barrel roll to the second edition barrel roll, and the uh, how different it is. So that's still something that I myself I frequently have to ask people exactly how that works because it's definitely something that is different from first edition. But I mean, aside from a few things like that, you had a pretty solid plan of attack. I mean, coming in there, uh, going into the E wings. I mean, either is not a bad choice. I mean, obviously he sets that up to kind of roll the flank in on whatever you don't take. But I mean, I thought that there was a potential to take an E-wing off the board in that engagement. It just didn't go that way. Uh, but I wondered if you could speak a little to your process after you'd gotten that really unfortunate hull breach and your decision tree just after you had jumped the E-wings in that engagement and having to decide whether or not to take that boost and commit around.
Um, yeah, that was a very tough decision.
Mhm.
And I think my decision tree because I chose to take the boost and keep the hull breach. Right? Is that what I did? I don't really remember
Yes.
what I chose to do.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Um, my thought process was just get into and unfortunately I forgot that and I can't remember if it's which one's which, but I forgot that Lando did not have a one hard. That's a change from second edition to first edition apparently, or from first to second edition. They used to have a one hard.
Yep.
Should have looked at the dial a little bit more carefully there. But I was thinking I had to get him just get out. He had to get away, or it was going to be a really shorter night than it could have been. So my thought process was, it's scary, but you just do it and see if you can't avoid one or two extra shots. Because at that point, it was just my thought process was he's either going to live or die, but if he lives, you want to have him in the right place so that he doesn't auto die next turn.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, a really unenviable choice, and I mean, obviously the momentum had kind of shifted at that point, so you have to make some decisions that might be a little uncomfortable. But it was an interesting point, and so we just kind of wanted to get into your head in that situation.
Yeah, I'm kind of default to if I ever have the choice, I will go with positioning over just about anything else. And
Pretty strong choice.
I tried to put myself in a position where I at least have an option. And it's my unfamiliarity with the dial was the mistake there because I really was thinking I could do one hards after that and would have two ways to go. But such is life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I was going to say, I think too, on the turn that the red E-wing bumped Lando, kind of right in between the gas cloud and the rock here in the asteroid. I think that might have been a little bit different because that's when we talked about Lando's ability. That Lando's ability still triggers if you would have fully, because you could have gone the other way, even though you land on the top of the gas cloud. He can boost off of the gas cloud, and we talked about that right after that because I kind of figured I thought you might go the other way over the gas cloud because I couldn't really block it, where that I could block, and that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely one of those things where you can definitely see that this was my third game back or fourth game back. I forget. Are we in week 3 or 4? I think it's week 3, right? Week 4. So this is my fourth game back, and there's just a lot of rust and a lot of unfamiliarity with the things I'm doing. So it's.
I mean, I didn't see a whole lot of rust from my perspective. I mean, aside from the little things like not being 100% with the dial and the barrel roll, which I still don't know 2 years into it. So, like, I thought you flew pretty good. I mean, there were just a couple of variant swings and everything like that, and a couple of just things that happen in the game. But I mean, other than that, it could have easily broke your way.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I think the things that played against you mostly were those difference points between first edition and second edition, right? Like you had managing the arcs on your bow tie turrets bit you on a couple of turns, and so that's new. The dial. And then the way that Lando's ability works, interacting with obstacles. So yeah, I think it's just a lot of unfamiliarity points. was where the friction.
Yeah,
came
I mean,
up.
all my lines worked. So I thought about just going because the way I set up, it's intentionally designed to either come together across the middle of the board if everybody stays on one side, or to joust on the side that is I'm facing when I do it. And so, when I thought about it, I was like, the two ships down here are going to be really fast. So I knew I was going to have Wedge in my 6. But my thought process was if I could get enough dice on the E-Wings, I could maybe get one of them off and then make a play to come back around these 4 obstacles that were down on his edge of the board with Dash. And, it just, the one turn of being not familiar with what Lando can do and ending up getting him stuck in the middle just kind of killed that. And there were a couple early turns where the dice just didn't work out. And, I'm not a fan of complaining about dice because it's a dice game. So you can't count on dice. You need to count on putting yourself in a position where the dice shouldn't matter. And I didn't do that. So it was a great learning game. I think I'm probably gonna play this list next week. So if you're listening, nice. Whoever my opponent is next week, I'm gonna try this one again because it was fun. And I do want to take a second and say though, Ryan was incredible. He was everything you could ask for an opponent. Like I don't know if you noticed on first turn, I had set my ships up backwards, and so I had the wrong dial on the wrong ship, and he was just like, "Just fix it." And I was like, "Thanks, man, appreciate it." And I would have played it that way.
We're here to have a good time.
Yeah.
So we're have a good time, man.
And like you guys talking about the barrel roll thing, I legitimately was like, dude, I recognize it missed. I need to understand why it missed because I don't really know what the heck happened. And once he explained how it worked, I was like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have even tried that.
Well, and I misunderstood. I thought you were going the other way. I thought you were going. You were trying to go to the left behind Jake. I thought you were going to the right.
Yeah, I was thinking the old. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest with you. In the old way, it would have fit because it would have been midpoint over, and I had just that edge. And then I was like, did I hit the gas cloud? No, I hit Jake pretty solid. So yeah, in retrospect, probably should have just taken the safe play of going to the right. And but it's 6 of one, half dozen another. I would have been out of one arc and into another. So it really kind of worked out the way it worked out. So. It was a great learning experience for me, and it was a fun game. I hope the folks watching enjoyed it, and you don't get to see me fly ships off the table too often, but it does happen.
Yeah, I mean, best time to do is right now, just kind of easing into the system, and that's just not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, those are the mistakes you make once, and
yeah, absolutely.
And it's embarrassing to do it in front of I assume international audience with as good at this stuff as you guys are.
Absolutely. International, worldwide.
Absolutely.
Let me look at the current total. Yeah, so I think at peak we had 10 viewers, so I wouldn't like cover your face with a sack or anything.
But then we put it up on YouTube for all of posterity, right? That's where the real shame comes from.
You can say whatever you want to because I still have a 15-second clip of you guys talking about me from 3 years ago that I still play for my kids when they look at me sometimes. Like, that's what people think of me outside of this house. So you guys will never be able to dampen my spirits.
All right.
I was in a Dollar General a few weeks ago, and somebody, you're that guy that went over that cloud that one time. I'm like, no, I ain't him. That ain't me. I just walked away.
Lord.
I'm infamous for a lot of things. Fortunately, X-Wing is not one of them.
Yet.
Yeah. That's very true.
But no, I mean, I think 2.0 it's been a lot of fun. This game was actually the first time I played against 4 ships I had seen before, so that was exciting. But it's been neat to see the new lists and see what everybody's doing. So this league has been great. You guys have been awesome. So just don't have enough good things to say about it.
Well, we're really glad to have you playing this season. I mean, obviously, any chance that we get to have our competitive rivals and brothers in arms from Atlanta, it's always a good time. So I'm glad you're back into the game. You're a great sportsman, good competitor, and we hope you stick around for a lot more.
Yeah, I'm here for the haul now, I guess. So I've got my actual ships out and am looking at what I need to do to upgrade my stash. And I'm gonna, this is a great opportunity for me to find a list I like because, as you guys know, with if the listeners don't know, I have 12 kids, so I don't have a lot of time for things. So I'll find a list, I will play it till it runs into the ground, and then I'll change it in 2 years.
Yep.
Perfect.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you both. I think that is gonna do us for tonight. But everybody out there, remember to tune in next week, same day, same time. League of Barons, Tuesday, 7:30 Central, and we will be back with Week 5. Good night, everybody.
Good
Good night.
night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.